You see, I feel highly entertained by Tinubu's rhetorics, the way he's dramatizing his own role, in Nigerian democracy. Luckily, we're all alive. Please go. Luckily, we're all alive. We're all there. We're all, participants in that particular, sphere of political activity. So I was in the middle of it. Tinubu became relevant and noticeable after Abacha took over government. Before then, he was the Senate, was the secretary of the party. And with all respect to him, you see, he was part of those people who were supporting Babangida's annulment of June 12. He was part of it. His own mother, Hajiya Mogaji from Lagos, was organizing Lagos marching women to come to Abuja to pledge, support for Babangida. I'm saying this because it's simply history. I mean no harm. Don't mean to embarrass him. But then you see, he was actively handing gloves to Babangida. Now, when Babangida saw the fact that he was having a problem with the party, he went to the National Assembly to address them. One infamous speech was, they are trying to incite you. It is you they are against. Tinubu was there, and IU became very, very firm and strict on the issue of June 12. He called a meeting, then being the only senior elected person in government at that time, as Senate President. He convened a meeting in Edo, in Benin, we went there with the governor, where we went there and reaffirmed our commitment to June 12. All right? Babangida was so angry with IU. When he came back, he removed him and put in a better arrow. He put in there so that, so that they can be aligned to Babangida, political kind of machinations. So when Tinubu today, after being a general president, decide to rewrite history, trying to maybe deconstruct history and then rewrite it, then it is very, very amusing because he was part of the Babangida support of June 12. He was part of it. Now, it was only when Abacha took over government that Tinubu then became a so-called activist of June 12. Not only all those who are talking about June 12 in the DECO, I mean no harm, I mean no disrespect. I'm simply saying what happened during that time. All of them, those who were in the DECO, where were they on June 11? They had no part in June 12. They are not part of June 12 campaign. They are not part of the June 12 activities. What they are never, because most of them are saying they should down look. All of them. Because they know that they won't work out. So when Abiola won the election, and then after the annulment, they are all very, very passive. But suddenly after Abacha came on board, removing Sonekam, they became activists. They formed NEDECO. NEDECO was opposed to Abacha, was opposed to election formation. NEDECO was something which was formed, to fight Abacha, not to fight democracy, not to fight for June 12. So whatever Tinubu is doing today is simply reconstructing history the way he thinks is going to fit his own political interests. But then obviously he was a major supporter of Babangida. Ask Babangida. Ask him.
That was the former governor of Jigawa State and the former national secretary of the Social Democratic Party, the party under whose platform Hajiya Abiola contested the 1993 presidential election. In that interview, Sule Lamido destroyed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's political legacy that had been built around June 12, saying that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu supported Ibrahim Babangida's annulment of June 12 election. And we are also going to show you what the son of Chief MKO Abiola said about Tinubu's role. And then we also give you another top Nigerian who was a witness, what he said. And then we'll leave it to you to make up your mind whether Bola Ahmed Tinubu deserves any recognition at all as a fighter for democracy or not. Of course, you listen to Sule Lamido, who was a former governor of Kaduna, of Jigawa State, speaking with authority as the secretary of the Social Democratic Party at the time, the party that sponsored Abiola for the election. in that exclusive interview with Arise TV, he said that Tinubu, then a senator under General Ibrahim Babangida's transition program, only joined in demanding for the validation of the mandate of MKO Abiola when he was thrown out from the Senate with his colleagues. In other words, saying that Tinubu was not an altruistic campaigner for June 12th. He was an opportunist who took advantage of the situation as it will serve his personal interests. Reaffirming that, that the president was aligned to Babangida all through the annulment of Abiola's election. You heard him, he said Tinubu was part of those people who were supporting Babangida's annulment of June 12th. His own mother, Hajiya Mogaji, from Lagos, was organizing Lagos working women to come to Abuja to pledge support for Babangida. He said, I'm saying this because it is simply history. Of course, it's a history that Sule Lamido witnessed by himself. It wasn't a second-hand information handed down to him. He was a witness to history. He said, when Tinubu today, after being a president, decided to rewrite history, well, trying to maybe deconstruct history and then rewrite it, then it is very, very amusing because he was part of the Babangida support of June 12th. He was part of it. Now, it was only when Abacha took over government that Tinubu then became our so-called activist of June 12th. In fact, according to the information from the Abiola family, it wasn't even when Abacha became head of state that Tinubu automatically changed. According to the information from the Abiola family and those who corroborated the story, which we are going to look at in a short while, it was when he didn't get what he wanted from Abacha that he became an activist. Now, of course, the presidency, they are not going to allow former Jigawa governor's revelations to go unchallenged. The presidency has reacted to this assertion by Sule Lamido. The presidency, speaking through Bayo Onanoga, the spokesperson or the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, who is actually the official spokesperson of the president, he described the allegation by Sule Lamido as patiently false. He alleged that Lamido colluded with the National Republican Convention to surrender the mandate won by the SDP to the military government. He said that Abacha took over in November 17, 1993 and dissolved all democratic institutions, and that Tinubu and a group of senators reconvened in Lagos, defying the junta, and that they were locked up in Alabama. He said while in police detention, he continued to fund pro-June 12 protests in Lagos. How can he be in detention and still be funding? Because I know that by 1993, during that period, you can't do bank transfer unless you have to go to the bank or you sign a check and all that. So how was he funding it? That's a debate for another day, but that is also part of the things that raises a lot of questions. Say he was in detention and he was funding the pro-democracy movement from prison, from detention. Okay. However, the assertion by Lamido has been corroborated by the son of Abiola himself, the son of MKO Abiola, his first son, Kola Abiola. Kola Abiola produced a documentary on June 12th, which documented all the activities and issues surrounding his father's election that was annulled by the military. In the interview he granted, Kola Abiola was asked, in an interview he granted ahead of the release of that documentary, Kola Abiola was asked to speak about Tinubu's involvement with June 12. In that interview, Kola Abiola claimed that Tinubu joined June 12 struggle after he failed to get appointment with Abacha. I want that to sink into. Kola Abiola said that Tinubu joined June 12 struggle after he failed to get appointment with Abacha. According to Kola Abiola, he said that when Abacha came in, what Tinubu wanted was to be the sole administrator or the civilian administrator of Lagos State. He was hoping that Abacha is going to replicate what Babangida did by having civilian administrators. So he positioned himself to be the civilian administrator of Lagos State under a military government of Sani Abacha. But Abacha said to him, according to Kola Abiola, that he is not going to rule with civilian administrators, that he was going to rule the country with military administrators. When Tinubu allegedly didn't realize that he can't get in as administrator of Lagos State, civilian administrator of Lagos State, he now wanted to be deputy administrator. He now lobbied for deputy administrator of Lagos State as a civilian. And Abacha told him there will be no deputy administrator. Then he now said, okay, if there will be no deputy civilian administrator, can I get a commissionership position? And Abiola, he didn't get that commissionership. According to Kola Abiola, another person was given that position. He said it was once that Tinubu lost out in that lobbying for position that he automatically became a NADECO member. That was Kola Abiola, the first son of Chief MKO Abiola, the man who sat on the right-hand side of his father at all time, monitoring the events. He is an insider. That is his assessment of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's role in June 12. And he has made a documentary on it, and he granted an interview on it. Now, another person corroborated Kola Abiola. That is Bode George, a former military administrator. In an interview he granted Punch in 2019, he corroborated Kola Abiola, saying that Kola Abiola is a courageous young man, and said that what Kola Abiola told the media, that Tinubu was lobbying for position in Lagos, was true. He said that Tinubu begged for a commissioner appointment in Lagos State, and this is what Bode George told the Punch newspaper. He said, it is true that Tinubu went to beg for a commissioner position. He was in the villa, and General Oladipo Dia is a witness. Tinubu said he wanted to be a deputy to a military administrator. And when all that didn't work out, he went into his activism. That was end of quote by Bode George. I'll put several links under this video so that you can go and read it and make up your mind about whether Tinubu deserves any credit on June 12th or not. Bode George, in that interview with Punch, hailed Kola Abiola for doing a documentary on his father and the June 12th struggle. And he also said that nobody should victimize Kola Abiola for the documentary he had done and for speaking the truth. He said that being the first son of Abiola, he was an insider on the June 12th saga. So you can make up your mind on who you think is saying the truth in this back and forth between the presidency and former Jigawa state governor. But you should also take note of what Tinubu himself said about Babangida. What is in the glowing term with which he described Babangida when Babangida launched his book recently at the presidential villa that dealt with some of the issues surrounding June 12 annulment. He literally described IBB like a political mentor. I'll put the video at the end of this video so that you can look at it and make up your mind whether that statement by Tinubu, even as president of Nigeria, about IBB, is a person who was very angry that June 12th was annulled by IBB during the book launch. You can watch it also and make up your mind. I don't know what you think about the assertion by former Jigawa state governor that Tinubu embellished his record about June 12th and that what he has done is to expose him that it was not true. He didn't fight for June 12th. He is not a Democrat. And even by his conduct in Rivers State and elsewhere, do you think that that is the exhibition of somebody who truly fought for democracy? Somebody who declared state of emergency, removing duly elected governor and deputy, and suspend the state assembly? Does that show you somebody who fought for democracy? Make up your mind. I don't want to take a position on this, but I have guided you to make up your mind. Go to the comment section. Tell us what you think about Bola Ahmed Tinubu's claim on June 12th. And then take into consideration the statement by Kola Abiola, the first son of Chief MKO Abiola. His heir to his legacies. His heir to his all the wealth and riches. Kola Abiola. What he said about Tinubu's role in June 12th. And tell us who you think is lying between former Jigawa state governor and the presidency on this saga of Tinubu's role in June 12th. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours. And don't forget to watch Tinubu speaking at the launch of IBB's book at the presidential villa. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.
I'm glad of the revelation on the June 12th. It's not just an ordinary day for Nigeria. The book I've not read, I've taken my copy, and I will read it. One thing I cannot forget. You are in office. You recalled we were elected. You kept on postponing the inauguration. You summoned us to Abuja. And when we became rancorous, you summoned us to the International Conference Center. I was not expecting to make any comment. I was just listening in my own radical manner that this man will not inaugurate us again. But before we returned to the hotel, the hotel was locked. No key. But when I was summoned by Daily Code to make a remark, I confronted you. That you had an opportunity to make history that day, and you failed to do it. Why not inaugurate us? Why are you calling us back and postponing the inauguration day? They thought I would end up in jail. You came out right at the end of the remark. You shook me. I can't forget that speech. You are courageous. That's an inspiration that is so impactful in my own life, just for what you are. The few hours to set a day like this and put it together, for you, you deserve it.